That's odd. I can smell roast dinner. Morning world, and welcome to Monday, January 30th. And actually, not a bad day today. You lot look happy, don't you? No. I know somebody else who's happy as well. Where's she hiding then? Oh, there she is, I found her. So, remember little 195, the little heifer calf that got chilled and was actually quite poorly, and we ended up having to go and get her a coat and everything else? Well, there she is. Okay, so for those of you that were ever so concerned, look at the tongue hanging out. For those of you that were so concerned about her, yeah, she's got her coat off. That came off yesterday. She's got a lovely flat back, and no, she's put on, how do we put it? She's put on some flesh. So yeah, she's doing really well now. So, and yeah, and just having some breakfast. Come on, Grumpy, you as well. Come on. Come on, in you go. Go on. Go on. Go on. Yeah, Grumpy's not so grumpy now. All right, you can come in. Come on in. Right, only a wood chip bed today, really. Yeah, I don't give them straw every time because, well, one, we haven't got enough, and two, when it's dry, they don't really need it. Wood chip is more than ample. Apparently, some of you are trying to give her a name, little 195. So, yeah, different calf now, isn't she? So it's nice to see her skipping around. So I'm pretty sure we're 99.9% of the way there now. Is she beautiful? Yes, you are. Beautiful. I know. They talk a little rubbish, don't they, sometimes? So, like many other YouTube channels, you know, you share stuff with folks and you leave yourself open to comment and criticism and all that good stuff. And do you know what? I got no problem with that. I got thick skin and broad shoulders, so it doesn't really bother me. But Carol poked the bear last night, so yeah. Do you want to know what Carol said? I'll tell you. Okay, so the message came on Messenger. She wasn't brave enough to put it on the YouTube channel, so maybe you should do that next time, Carol, and then some other folks can answer this for you. So it starts off with, I'll quote this: "You're damned," as in I'm damned, with a really angry red frowny face on it. So, "This situation with this dear little calf serves you right. You are full of excuses, no motivation, woe is me, leave it till tomorrow, neglecting the health and well-being of your stock. Why were you not checking the calf every 2 to 3 hours, especially before getting into your bed at night? Would you mind? I'm busy here. Have you not heard of heat lights? I could go on and on. A bit like a bit like you, go on and on about blooming footpaths in capital letters. It was always been there, but I think, would you stop it? But I think you feel so awkward about the calf, you put someone else in the fire line walking a dog on your land, footpath in brackets, where you're keeping your stock. Piffled, they are all in a dirty, filthy yard. Right, okay, look. Bless you. Stop it, go on. All right, so, thank you, Carol. Obviously, I answered that message the same as I've answered the other messages you sent me. I don't actually write anything in this, so I just put a little emoji of a little troll, little green troll. Would you stop it? So I'm a terrible farmer. I make excuses. I leave stuff until tomorrow. My animals are filthy dirty. You know, they've got nowhere clean to lie or anything like that. And the poorly calf was my fault. So, right, pack it in, you. This is what happens when they get too tame. So, hands up, I have already been out and done the bedding, and I've done the yards, and yeah, same as I do every week, 2 or 3 times a week, I'll do the yard. If it's wet, it might even be every day, but while it's dry, there's no need. I don't think my cattle are in that bad a condition. As far as having nowhere dry to sleep or lie down, well, yeah, piffle is the word I think you used, and I agree. You are talking about a piffle. So Carol, I believe, is what we call an armchair farmer. Extremely good at telling everybody else how to do their job, but probably, in reality, wouldn't have a clue how to actually do it herself. The heat lamp thing, okay, I'll grant you, I could have put that calf under a heat lamp, and it was considered. I also considered putting the calf in our lounge in front of the log burner, but when I took her temperature, all right, not with a thermometer, I did it with my fingers, she wasn't cold to the core, she was chilled, okay? The heading of the thing was not a frozen calf or a hypothermic calf, it was a chilled calf, all right? And where is she today? Well, I'll tell you where she is. She's in there with her mum. And she no longer has a coat on. Hello, mum, you all right? She no longer has a coat on. She's up and about. She's dancing around with the rest of the calves. I'm going to get her up now because I can. And she is perfectly... You're going to get up or not bother? Oh, you quite chilled then, are you? Hey, are you quite chilled then? So, no, I'm not going to make her get up. I'll show you a clip of her dancing around because it's tight making her get up. She's enjoying the sunshine. Yeah, okay, there's things on the farm I could possibly do better, and if I had the funding and the time, I would do that as well. But there's other things going on in my life right now, Carol. You know, like I'm doing all this on my own at the moment because my soulmate, my wife, my partner, not here. Sadly, she's in hospital, rather a long way away, and I miss her, and I want to go and see her whenever I can. And at the moment, I get 2 hours a week. That's all I get to go and see her. It's a 60-mile drive to get there, and obviously a 60-mile drive back. And I've got to get there. I've got between 10 o'clock in the morning and midday. That's all I get to see her every week. So, and unfortunately, when this happened, I wanted to go see my wife. So yeah, somebody could, well, you could have missed seeing your wife for the week. Yeah, I could have done. I could have done that. But then I'd have been torn between one and a half the other. So anyway, at the end of the day, Carol, bless you, little 195, which I know some of you are trying to get me to put a name on it. I know now, even saying that, there's going to be a list of names in the box below of what we should call the calf. No, I'm not going to call it Lucky. Yeah, so Carol, you poked the bear. I honestly do not think you understand what you're talking about, because you obviously only have a small, You have one page of the book. You do not have the whole book. You do not have the whole picture. You're making a comment and you're assuming stuff. Always very dangerous to assume stuff. Okay, so anyway, so the video that came out after that one will obviously explain some more. So things like calf coats and more drenching and getting back on her mum and getting on her feet. You've seen all that and you know now that, no, she's recovered. But yeah, some folks are just so quick to judge, you know. Oh, they're lying in their own shit. They're walking. Yeah, cows produce an awful lot of it, you know. I mean, that's a bale a day goes in that rack out there, and it doesn't just disappear into midair, you know. You know, what goes in has to come out, and it doesn't come out looking the same as it when it went in. Honest, it doesn't. So, and as far as the bed's concerned, this is what we call a deep litter system. So for those of you that don't know, and for Carol's benefit as well, when she's saying that they're lying in their own shit, it's not a case of they're lying in it. The muck is actually part of the process of this. When this builds up a little bit, I mean, there are farms out there that will have a bed 2 or 3 feet thick now. That's how deep it'll be, with the manure from the year, and you just top it up and top it up. Never take anything out. I do take some of it out because I don't want it too deep. I've allowed it to get deeper in the middle over there because that's where the warm spot's going to be. And that's the whole thing about deep litter. As the organic material starts to break down and decay, it produces heat. And at this time of year, it gives them a warm bed. It's like having a warm mattress. All right? This isn't that deep in here, so it's not going to be hot. But it'll be not cold either. Does that make sense? If you go out there and put your hand in a muck heap, go in 12, 14 inches and put your hand in there where it's steamy on top, the chances are you will burn your hand. It gets that hot. So yeah, for our little calves and that, having something warm to lie on, as long as it's dry and as long as it's not running in excrement, they will stay clean. I mean, they are all clean, aren't you? You're clean, aren't you? You're also a hooligan, ain't you? So there you go, Carol, just so to put your mind at rest. I don't think I'm a terrible farmer. I don't think I'm going to be damned. I think you're talking out of your ass, to be honest. So, yeah. Oh, she's having a bath now, look. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. Right. On that note, I've got to go over to my dad's. Apparently he's not feeling very well today, and my brother has to go out, so I'm kind of taking on looking after him for a couple of hours. So a bit of sun duty. Everything in here is done. They're all happy. Lovely, fresh, clean bed in there. Yeah, they look, my God, they look terrible. I should be ashamed of myself. How about you lot? You up in here? See, look. Again, a bit more deep litter. So these guys this side only get wood chip. And that's kind of all they need. There's plenty of space in here for them. And again, as long as they keep dry and it doesn't get wet and sloppy, they stay nice and clean. Yeah? That's a clean animal, aren't you? You know, I don't even trim their tails. How many farms out there have to trim cattle's tails because they get covered in shit? Okay, we don't have that problem. None of our tails are trimmed. I don't actually like trimming tails. I know there's a reason for it and blah, 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 but you know what? These guys spend the summer out there, and if there's a lot of flies about, that's what the tail is for, okay? The tail's not there to look at. The tail's got a job. It's there to flick flies. That's its job. If you trim all the hair off of it, well, the fly swat don't work, does it? No. So, all right, youngster. Right. You carrying a calf? Hey, are you? Maybe. It seems to me, sadly, more often than not, farmers are having to defend themselves against folks who they actually honestly believe that they know better. I don't know. Perhaps some of those folks should try it for themselves. They'll soon learn. It's not all that easy, is it? No, it's not. Right, that's enough of that. So I've said me piece. stubby ground. How many have we got left in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And how many have I got broken? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's at least 5 broken out there. So this is a little job I've got earmarked. I just wanted the ground to dry up a little bit because I'm not going to post ram these by hand. I'm going to do it with the machine on the tractor. So the ground's still quite wet from all that rain we had a week or two back. I don't really want to go out there just yet. I'd like the ground to firm up a bit more before I go driving a 4-ton tractor out there. But yeah, that is on the cards for this week if it stays dry. We're going to put the post rammer on. We're going to bang some new posts in, put some wire up, and then take the old posts back out. That's the plan. So a bit of post ramming, a bit of fencing coming up this week. And then I think we're probably going to end up going around the farm. I've got a funny feeling there's a broken post right down the bottom. We'll do that one as well. Yeah, it's kind of maintenance time, getting stuff ready for when the stock go back out, but only if it's dry enough. I don't see the point in marking the ground up unnecessarily if we haven't got to, and I'm certainly not going to do it just for YouTube views. It's one of those things, it's for the farm, not for YouTube. Right there, little scatty. You are pretty, aren't you? Eh? She is pretty. She's a little bit more flighty than that's actually the flightiest heifer we've got. I mean, she's not bad, and she could be tamed, but she is just that little bit nervous. Don't know why. So anyway, hopefully, touch wood, a couple of weeks' time, we're going to have a clear TB test. And if that happens, then some of those little heifers will be coming up for sale. So we didn't bother with a pre-movement test. Our test is 14th, 17th of February. So next couple of weeks, we'll get that sorted out. And then I know 1 or 2 of you were interested in perhaps buying a couple of heifers. Yeah, there'll be a couple for sale. So if you're interested, let me know. That's it. That's my bedtime reading sorted out for the next couple of days. So I'd say 95% of it I understand, but some of this is a bit scientific, even for me. But yeah, this is what you get if you're a member of the Arboricultural Association. You get your you get your reading materials.